I'm erasing you, Clementine, and I'm terrified that it's working. Joel Barish wakes up in a gray apartment on February 14th. The world feels muted. He looks at his car, the side is smashed in, and he has no memory of how it happened. Instead of going to his job as a clerk, he feels a sudden, magnetic pull toward the coast. He runs across the train tracks and boards a train to Montauk. On a frozen, desolate beach, he sees a woman in a bright orange sweatshirt with shock blue hair. This is Clementine. Even though they are total strangers, there is a gravitational pull between them. They meet again on the train back to the city. She's loud, she's extravagant, and she's a blur of primary colors in his gray world. They click instantly. It feels like destiny. But we jump back in time to the real present. Joel goes to the bookstore where Clementine works to surprise her after a fight. She looks right at him, and she doesn't know who he is. She's flirting with a young man named Patrick. She treats Joel like a nuisance, a stranger off the street. Joel is devastated until he finds a letter from a place called Lacuna, Inc. It explains that Clementine has had Joel surgically erased from her memory. In a fit of vengeful agony, Joel decides to do the same. He meets Dr. Howard Mierzwiak, a man who views heartbreak as a medical condition to be cured. Joel brings in every link, every photo, every gift, every scrap of paper that reminds him of her, so the doctors can map his brain and wither those specific neurons while he sleeps. The procedure begins in Joel's bedroom. As he falls into a medicated sleep, we enter his mind. The erasure starts with his most recent memories, the rotten layers. We see the decay of their relationship. They are sitting in a Chinese restaurant, and the silence is deafening. They have nothing left to say. As the machine zaps these memories, the world around them begins to dissolve. The titles on the book covers in the background turn blank. The walls of the restaurant become smooth, white voids. Joel is an observer in his own head, watching his history being deleted in reverse. He's angry. He wants her gone. But as the night goes on, the machine moves deeper into the good layer of his brain. He relives the night they lay on the frozen Charles River. He feels the biting cold of the ice and sees the vast, beautiful stars above. In this moment, the anger vanishes. He realizes he is losing the most beautiful part of his life. Suddenly, he hears the muffled voices of the technicians, Stan and Patrick, in his actual bedroom. They are drinking beer and dancing on his bed, completely unaware that Joel is having a change of heart. Joel tries to scream, to wake up, to stop the machine, but he is paralyzed by the sedative. He realizes he's trapped. He grabs Memory Clementine's hand and tells her, "We have to hide. I'm taking you somewhere you don't belong." Joel begins a desperate brain heist. He tries to hide Clementine in memories where she doesn't exist. He retreats into his deepest childhood shames. Suddenly, Joel is 4 years old, sitting in a giant kitchen sink, being bathed by his mother. Clementine is there, hiding under the table, disguised as a neighborhood kid. He takes her to a memory of a rainy backyard where he was bullied as a toddler. But the Lacuna map is a bloodhound. The sky starts to collapse like wet paper. The people in his memories, his mother, his old friends, lose their faces. They become featureless mannequins. No matter where he hides her, the procedure finds them and withers the scene. The world inside his head is literally ending. Joel and Clementine are running through a library where the books are disappearing off the shelves. They run into a house, and the furniture evaporates as they touch it. Clementine's hair color flickers from blue to orange to green as the links are severed. Joel realizes that the doctors are systematically hunting her down. He tries to lead her into his dark memories, memories of guilt and secrets, hoping the machine won't follow. But Howard Merzwiak, the doctor, is called in to take over the controls. He is an expert. He begins to reset the map, closing every escape route Joel tries to build. While Joel is fighting for his soul inside his brain, a real-world violation is happening. The technician, Patrick, is using Joel's stolen journals to date the real Clementine. He's taking her to the same spots Joel took her. He's reciting Joel's own poetry back to her. He's wearing Joel's life like a costume. Clementine is confused. She feels a phantom limb sensation. She's with Patrick, but she feels like something is missing. She's crying, and she doesn't know why. She's looking for a man she no longer remembers, while the man who stole his identity stands right in front of her. In Joel's bedroom, the receptionist Mary is drinking and flirting with Dr. Howard. She thinks he's a genius who saves people from pain. But in a moment of drunken clarity, she discovers a horrific truth. She has had the procedure too. She had an affair with Howard, and when his wife found out, Howard erased Mary's memory to fix the problem. Mary realizes that although the memory is gone, the love never left her. She's been pining for a man she didn't know she loved. She realizes that Lacuna doesn't cure pain. It just leaves you with a hole in your heart that you can't explain. Joel is down to his final memory of Clementine. It is the day they first met at a crumbling beach house in Montauk. The house is literally dissolving into salt and wind. The ocean is rushing through the front door, washing away the floorboards. Memory Clementine looks at him and whispers, "This is it, Joel. It's going to be gone soon. What do we do?" Joel, no longer fighting, no longer panicked, looks at her and says, "Enjoy it." They share one last dance in the ruins of their first meeting. She whispers a final instruction into his ear as the world turns to white light. "Meet me in Montauk." Joel wakes up. His mind is a blank slate. He goes to Montauk, he meets Clementine, and the pull brings them together again. But the cycle is broken by Mary, who has quit Lacuna and mailed everyone their files. Joel and Clementine sit in a car and listen to the cassette tapes of their past selves. They hear themselves saying the most vicious, hateful, and intimate things about one another. They see the disaster of their future laid out in their own voices. They know they will fail. They know they will get bored. They know the heartbreak is coming. Clementine tells him she'll eventually get bored and feel trapped, because that's what she does. Joel looks at her, fully aware of the tapes, fully aware of the pain, and he just says, "Okay." They decide that the mess and the pain are better than the nothingness. They choose to walk into the fire together, knowing it will burn because the warmth was worth it. Let me know in the comments if you'd ever take the procedure. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell.